Hello! Welcome to my top 5 worst tracks in CTR video, which is kind of a follow-up to my favourite tracks in CTR, which is a very unusual video. And this one is going to be especially unusual because I'd say a lot of these tracks people don't actually mind a lot. However, there are some tracks on here that a lot of people would probably agree with me. Without further ado, let's get into the video, shall we? You're probably wondering, why is Inferno Island on this list? Well, this is a strange one. I don't insanely hate this track. It's just a very weird track. No other track in the game does this. But why is the track so big and barren? Like, it feels so lonely almost. The only saving grace for it, really, is its music and its aesthetics. The music in this track is very memorable, even though I've never seen the track before. I don't know why I recognise it for some reason. And the aesthetics is beautiful. This used to be just a Crash Code clone at daytime in Nitro Car, but they've changed it, and it's nighttime and it looks beautiful. I love it. But the thing is, what makes this track fall is just I guess it's just a short track that doesn't really have much substance to it. It doesn't really draw you in like Jungle Boogie or Meteor Gorge. It's just very, very strange track, and I know that's not really a good reason to hate it, but I mean, I guess that's just my opinion, personal preference, as I said in the last video. So, with that done, let's move on to my number 4 pick, alright? Another peculiar option on my list. Why is Tiny Arena on here? Well, I think this suffers with Inferno Island syndrome as well, which is the track is very boring, but for a different reason. I absolutely despise the aesthetic on this track. Because the thing is, like, a lot of people enjoy this track, which you can understand, you can make a lot of Wumpa coin from it. But the thing is, right, is the aesthetics are upwards. I don't look upwards when I'm playing, because I'm concentrating. I'm a tryhard, I guess. But, you know, I'm always stuck to these grey walls, and the track is just so large and so bland for me. I just don't enjoy it at all. And the music is annoying as fuck, in my opinion. I mean, I hope I don't, if my opinion isn't the same as yours, please don't have a go at me in the comments section. But also, I'm actually intrigued to hear what your worst tracks are in the comments below. Yeah, so another thing about this track is not just the aesthetics and the colours and everything, but also just the bumps in this track. I mean, there is another track that is very similar to this, which is called Assembly Lane, which I think is a more enjoyable track because, mostly because it's got more to it. I mean, there's hazards, which make it more interesting. There's not as many of these little bumps and shit that you can do tricks on, which is good. And it's not repetitive format like this track for like the whole thing. And Assembly Lane isn't actually that big of a track, so that's good. But yeah, it's mostly just everything about this track is just not very interesting to me. You need to draw me in with the aesthetics and just the funness of the track, if funness is even a word. So yeah, I mean, yeah, don't hate me, it's just my opinion, alright? So let's move on to my number 3 pick. Jeez, this is quick. You're probably wondering, why on earth is Blizzard Bluff at number 3? Well, the reason I don't like this track, and I'm saying this now, I don't like these tracks, is because they are very skill-based. I would not say that I'm a very skilled player, and these shortcuts are absolute bogus. I think that's mostly an American word to use, but I'm saying it anyway. The shortcuts are retarded in this game. If you saw my Polar video, which should be coming out pretty soon, doing the Blizzard Bluff shortcut, the one where you skip basically half of the track with that massive jump, is pretty impossible with a turning character, and the only way you can do it is acceleration and speed. which is bullshit. You should be able to do it with any character, which is a darn shame. And also the other shortcuts in the level can also eat an ass, because they are so... Oh, maybe it's just me, but I can't seem to get these shortcuts, and you'll see it in this gameplay. The fence shortcuts are impossible, I swear. Look, ready? Boom, fucked it up, just like that. I don't know what the key is to that. I've looked it up, and I still can't do it. There's one shortcut that's fine, but it doesn't skip nearly as much as you'd like. You're almost better off not doing it at all. But yeah, Blizzard Bluff is just, you have to keep speed on it all the time. If you're in a public match in rotation on this and you get hit, you've basically lost. If you can't go over that shortcut, you might as well accept defeat straight from the beginning. This track is just not enjoyable for me in the slightest. But I'll tell you this, if it comes up in rotation, I'll probably pick it just in the odd chance that I actually win in it. Okay? And without that out of the way, let's move into number 2, which I absolutely despise this track. This is a 2-part number 2. Because there is something else about this track that I really hate. But first I'm going to tell you what I hate about the track in general. The speed boosts. Why is the blue flame so lackluster? Why on earth do I have to go over like a million speed boosts just to keep my blue fire? And why are the sharp turns there? Why am I gaining all this speed just to have it taken off me like that? You see it? Like, why? Like, people making these... You have to be a god to make these turns without losing any speed. You have to get so much speed, in fact, that, you know, you would have... Well, I don't know how you'd make it. That's what I'm trying to say. The track design for this track is not good. This track was designed for you to be angry, upset. And whenever this comes up in map rotation, it doesn't surprise me why people don't pick it. But it's always interesting when it does get voted for and we do play it, because... You know, you can see the struggle that other players have on this track, and it's sad. It really is sad. Even the person in first probably feels bad for the people behind him. That's why this track sucks. But there is one thing that sucks a lot more than this track, and it's... this piece of shit! If you could see my face right now on a webcam, you'd see incredible amount of disappointment on my face. This track, I hyped this track up. I didn't think it was going to be a reskin. I thought the PlayStation exclusive track was going to be a really unique one, because we originally had CTR for PlayStation. But no, it's a shitty version of the original track, a reskin of a track that already exists in the game, with, well, I mean, PlayStation 1 graphics, which is kinda cool, but they ruined it with a lot of PlayStation logos. You could have just given us another track. I mean, probably not Beanox's fault that we have this. It's probably PlayStation or Sony. They probably just straight up said that we need this track with PlayStation logos on it, just to tell everyone that it's exclusive. Yes, you've told everyone that it's exclusive, but it's very ugly. And literally... this track, like, I've seen this track come upon rotation like the original version of this track. No one picks it, and I can understand why. This track is atrocious. It's ugly. It's everything you don't want in a track. Sharp turns, bad quality graphics, shit aesthetics. It is absolutely terrible. And I'm ready to tell you about my number 1 pick. Are you ready? This track is AIDS. I can't say it enough. Online matchmaking on this track in particular is an abomination. the track gets littered with potions and TNT crates, especially on this climb up the pyramid thing and on all the shortcuts. Do you know what's even worse? Climbing up the pyramid, getting hit by like 1,000,000 blue orbs at the same time, which luckily isn't a problem anymore, but it's still, if you do, it's horrible because you have to reverse, get out of that smelly little corner that you were in the first place, and yeah. And when you do the shortcuts and get hit, you fall straight off the track and boom, you're in last place. But this shortcut right here that you're seeing is amazing. Probably one of the best shortcuts in the game. Shame it's on a really bad track though. The relic race for this track is terrible. You know, you gotta back up to get shit. I'd rather just go straight forwards and just do it as I please and find different strategies, which would be cool. CTR challenges, it's just annoying. I know it gets you to experiment with the shortcuts, but when are you going to use them when everyone's littering the track, unless you're in first? Also, yeah, I think I don't think that the player base for CTR is toxic, but if I was to describe a track that make people toxic, it's this one. This track is just toxic as hell. Obviously, this is all my opinion. Don't be angry with me. It's just my opinion. I don't want to cause a ruckus. But please do tell me your top 5 worst tracks and tell me how you feel about this track in particular. And explain to me why you like it, if you do, or hate it. Also, what I would like to do in the future is do a, probably like a top 5 costumes or something. Top 10 costumes in the game. I don't know why, but I just feel like doing top 10s recently. I don't know why, but I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope I haven't triggered any of you, most of all. And yeah, I will talk to you in the next video, which I don't know what it will be. So see ya.